Friends, you know how it goes. You're curling your hair, you're going along, and then all of a sudden, you catch yourself and you burn yourself. Happens to the best of us here, and it happened to me, and today I'm gonna show you how to cover it up. So I shared with you guys in another video how I use a clipless curling iron like this one to get some curls like this. And a couple days ago, I was curling my hair much like I did in that video, and I was in a rush. It was the morning, I was rushing, trying to get it done. I actually thought that I could get it done in 10 minutes, in under 10 minutes. That was what I was going for. And what ended up happening was I was rushing. And because I was rushing, I was letting the curling iron slip. And I let it slip twice. The first time it hit me in the neck, and it was long enough to burn my neck and leave a huge burn mark on my neck. And it also hurt really bad. The second time, I hit myself in the face, in the cheek right here. Fortunately, it wasn't long enough to burn my skin. It didn't leave anything major. I didn't wear makeup for a couple of days. And I was treating the burn as you should. So if you burn yourself, first things first, don't worry about covering it up. First, focus on healing the burn. Make sure to put some aloe on that thing. Not aloe from CVS. I'm talking about aloe, the plant. Put some fresh aloe on it. You can actually pick some up at the grocery store if you don't have your own aloe plant. But I definitely recommend picking up an aloe plant. It's a great plant to have on hand if you ever get a burn or a sunburn. Just open it up and apply it right onto the burn. Okay, so that's how you treat it. But then you might want to also cover your burn or hickey, depending on what you have going on. I know for myself, I was walking around with no makeup on for a couple of days because I was treating the burn, and everyone was staring at it. The first thing that people would do when they saw me, they would look at me and they would stare right at my neck. They would look down at it. And it kind of makes you feel a little bit self-conscious, and I didn't want that to be the first thing that people were looking at. So I'm going out tonight for my husband's birthday and wanted to cover up that huge burn because, hey, I would rather people be looking at my face than at the huge burn / hickey going, what is it? So I'm gonna show you today how you can cover up a burn or a hickey potentially, or even a scar that is on your face or your neck using a couple simple products. And I'm gonna be using some Tarte products today, the Tarte Eye Primer, and the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and Foundation, along with my personal favorite mineral foundation, some Bare Minerals. And this is the final look after I already went through everything. So this is what it's gonna look like at the end. You can see that you can still see it a little bit. It's not completely gone because it is raised. It is a raised burn. It feels like an alligator. Not great. There's only so much that you can do, but I can put some coverage over it so that it's not the focal point. So if you're looking to learn how to cover up something like a burn or a scar or a hickey or a bruise, something of that nature that is close to your face, either on your face or on your neck, keep watching. I screwed up a little bit. When I was curling my hair a couple of days ago, I was rushing, trying to go too fast, and my curling iron slipped and I burned myself. So you can see I have a nice, ugly little burn going on here. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly today how you could cover a burn or I guess a hickey, something like that, with the products that you have in your everyday makeup kit. Because you probably don't walk around with a Makeup Forever flash palette, so we're not gonna use products that you probably don't have. I want to show you what I would do just to cover this up if I'm going out and with my regular day-to-day products. So let's check this out. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is the same as any other time that you're doing your makeup. You're going to wanna start by having a great base. So using a moisturizer. This is the Bruise Lake Cream Concentrate. So start with that. We're gonna actually go ahead and do my whole face because I'm gonna do my makeup after I cover this up. So go ahead and do my face and then we'll bring it down to the neck. . Okay, so our face is moisturized. Now I'm gonna give you a little trick that you may not have thought about. Sure, we could go in with a face primer, a foundation primer like this. Let's go in instead with an eye primer. It's a little thicker, gonna give us a little bit more coverage, and the benefit to the one that I've got here, which is the Tarte Shape Tape, is that it also has a little bit of a tint to it. So my hands are a little bit from that, so let's get this open. So you can see it's got a little bit of color to it. So let's go ahead and apply that right on the blemish. And you can see that's already made a huge difference already, just using this tinted colored eye primer on this area. Now, second tip, make sure to use a beauty blender. I have already wet this. So the way that you use this, if you are not familiar, is hold it under the sink, wet it, squeeze it out a bunch of times. And in the end, it'll look like this. So this is what it looks like dry. You can see these are dirty. I've been using them for concealer. This is what it looks like dry, and then this is what it looks like once it is wet. Okay, so we've got that. Now take your damp beauty blender, take your concealer. I'm also gonna be using Tarte again, Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And we're gonna throw that on the same spot. Let me just take my beauty blender first. Pat this primer in a little first. Okay, now take your concealer, dot it on. Okay, I'm a little red here, this is just first morning allergies kind of thing for me. It's pretty normal. Could have been my dog, could have been anything. So now take your beauty blender and gently, very gently, press into the blemish. Okay, so we've got it pretty blended in. Now you can see that there's a pretty big circle around. So I'm actually gonna take the other end and gently wipe it down, pull it away, pull away from the blemish. So I'm not on the blemish, I'm going around the blemish. And pulling away. All right, cool, looking pretty good already. Now, my other trick for this is I usually use mineral foundation for my day-to-day, but because I want this to be covered completely, I think I'm gonna need to use a little bit more product. So first, before I go on to putting any sort of foundation on, I'm actually going to go in with some translucent powder and go ahead and seal off what I've done so far. We wanna lock it up with some powder. So take that damp beauty blender again, use some powder. This is also Tarte Smooth Operator. Put some on your beauty blender. And then pat that guy on there. Now I'm actually gonna take the end of this and get real good on there because I wanna really bake this. Okay, this is now baking up. I'm going to leave this way. I'm gonna do the rest of my face, and then when I get to the part where I'm doing my foundation on my face and I need to pull it down to my neck, we're gonna come back in here. So let's fast forward a little bit and I'll see you back when we are at the foundation phase of this. Okay, we're back. I have now done my eyes. I'm ready to get to my face and concealing, foundation, all that good stuff. So I wanted to stop for us to go through what we're gonna do next with this spot that has been kind of baking on the skin. I'd like you to take a loose brush like this. This is a blush brush, and just gently dust off the extra powder. Okay, let's take our foundation. I'm going to be using a blend, probably, let's see, we're gonna start with this Tarte Shape Tape foundation, and then I also have this Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I like both of them for different reasons, but let's throw the Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation on first and see if that gets the coverage that we're looking for. So this one's got a nice little pull out as well, and so let's throw some foundation right on that area. Now, since I'm doing my face, I'm also going to start to get this on my face as well. It's like I have the chicken pox. Okay, now take your beauty blender and start a blending. All right, so I've got my first layer of coverage on my face, started to blend this in. Now, let's get down to this neck area. I'm finding it kind of funny that I'm recording a video about how to cover a blemish when my entire middle of my neck is breaking out in allergy hives, itchy allergy hives. It's kind of funny because I have this, you know, I kind of want to cover it up, but I know it's just going to go away on its own. This is something that happens to me. I happen to have terrible allergies, environmental allergies. I'm basically allergic to everything. And actually I'm allergic to a lot of these products that I use too, and I do it to myself. It's not a good thing. But this is something that I actually am passionate about and really want to bring awareness to and talk about on this channel, is this idea of skin and environmental allergies. So many of us have problems with things. I wake up in the morning and it could have been my dog. I was holding her, or something touched me, or there was a detergent, or it could be anything. Most of the time I have no idea what is causing the problem. I just know that I'm having a reaction. So again, it's kind of funny that I'm over here trying to cover this spot up and yet have this huge red patch. So sorry. This is as good as it's going to get. Now keep in mind, this is a burn, so it's actually a little bit raised and it has a very coarse texture to it. My goal is, obviously I can't make it disappear, but I want to do the best that I can do to make it not be so obvious. So when people look at me, the first place their eyes fall is not on my neck. I want the first place for their eyes to fall to be somewhere else. Like maybe my eyes, how about that? So we wanna take, I'll get as close as I can so that you can see it has the coverage to it, and from far away, you will hardly be able to see this once we have put on our finishing powder and finish the rest of our face. So let me keep going. I'm going to conceal, finish my face, powder, contour, all that good stuff, and we'll see how this comes out in the end. Okay, so I have a layer of this liquid foundation on, very thin layer of this liquid foundation, I would say. Blended in, okay, not great, just a little bit. I don't have very much of it on my nose, and I don't have very much of it around my mouth. I mostly did my cheek area, the top of my face, and my focus on my neck. And the reason why I'm not going crazy with this is it's not my normal color, and I just prefer the finish of mineral foundations. So I like the way that it feels on my skin at the end, so I tried to do just a little bit just to get everything to blend together, because a liquid is going to cover something like this a lot better than a mineral foundation will. So now I have this coat on. I'm going to top it off with my mineral foundation. This may be a lot for you. So if you find that it's a lot of product, and if you are comfortable with just liquid foundation, then finish your liquid and you're all good to go. For me, I want to finish it this certain way. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take finishing powder again. This time I'm going to use the Mineral Veil finishing powder. And I'm going to take the Beauty Blender again, stick it back on this guy, because I want to make sure that in between layers, I'm finishing. Because if you just add layers and layers and layers of different products onto your skin and you don't use a finishing powder in between, you're not setting those layers. So it's really easy for those products to just slide, for them not to look as good together. This way we're actually building a layer, closing off the layer, sealing the layer, building the next layer, seal, etc., etc. So put a little bit more powder on there. You can use the same translucent powder that you used the last time. I'm using Mineral Veil, since I'm going to be putting mineral foundation on top of this. All right, so I've got that. Now I'm going to take my mineral foundation and I'm going to finish my face, pulling it all the way down to the neck so that my color is the same throughout. All right, guys, let's pull this mineral foundation down to the neck nail. I'm gonna be careful not to rub too much because I don't wanna rub all this product off. So instead I'm gonna take this, pat it in here, and I'm gonna actually just pat it right on. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as this is gonna go. Like I said, I cannot make it disappear. It is raised, it has a certain texture to it, but what I can do is blend it and make it look a little bit more like it's part of my body. Maybe people will just think that it's a scar or something that I'm trying to cover, but at least they immediately aren't going to have those darting eyes shooting at my neck. So now let me finish out my face so you can see what the whole look looks like put together. Okay, so now it's time for the irony of this entire video. I have now concealed the burn. And now I'm gonna curl my hair. Hey, you can't be scared. You gotta get back on the horse. You gotta just do it. So we're gonna do it. I had to stop for a second because my allergies are just so bad right now. Like, do you hear this right now? What's happening? It's probably from all this mineral foundation going up my nose and into my sinuses, but I don't know. This is what it's like. This is what I go through every day. This is why I have a love-hate relationship with makeup. All right, we can do this. Power through it. We can do this. So here is the final look. I had the guts to go back in with my curling iron, even though I have burned my neck a couple of days ago. So this is what the concealed burn looks like with a full face. It's not too bad. It's not great, not the best. Could be a little bit better. Like I said, if I had used some of my professional products and went in with a flash palette and offset some of the colors and spent a little bit more time on it, I could have gotten it a little bit better, but this is not bad for using regular makeup in your everyday kit. So if you burn yourself with your curling iron, or maybe if you get a hickey, you can use these techniques to cover up what you've got going on your neck. All right, hope this helps, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. I'm loving making these videos for you, so please subscribe and let me know what you want to see next. Bye.